The Imperium's hives play a vital role in its survival. In our last lesson, we discussed what a hive city is, its importance, its society, and what the duty of all Imperial citizens within happens to be. Today, we shall focus on a particular hive world, one that some might consider to be the greatest of hive worlds, second only to Holy Terra in terms of scale. Today, we shall discuss Necromunda. But hold up, guys, I gotta level with ya. Making content like this is expensive. You see, these days I'm not just slapping a video together, I'm doing a lot. Atop making artwork, I'm now making more advanced edits, and I'm animating stuff through software like Adobe After Effects. As an example, the animated background you will see in this video, I made the art for that on Procreate, which I don't need to worry about paying for as I've had Procreate for years now, but the device I'm drawing on is an iPad with a messed up screen that I can't afford to repair, as my choices are between repairing it and paying the people that are helping me with Osmium Tales, a project I've been working on for a long time now. Then I had to pay for After Effects to animate it. It is expensive. Like, I have easily spent well over $1,000 on this. Now, I do have the money to cover for all this on paper, but that doesn't account for other things, aka life. I have to be able to, function as a human being in society, save up for important things in the future, and now with college starting, well, textbooks are, expensive. I want to keep making high-quality content that I'm really passionate about, but if I had to choose between making cuts to my stuff and functioning, you see where I'm going. You can help me by becoming a patron or commissioning me for artwork. Patrons, of course, get early access to content, behind-the-scenes stuff, and merch. That's right, you get merch! I've been advertising the mug forever. Well, I actually haven't really been advertising it. I only, said it exists a couple of times. But I digress. The mug's a thing. I'm also gonna do more stickers soon. But, yeah, and if you want to commission me for artwork, well, just go into my Linktree. My Instagram DMs are always open. Feel free to talk to me there. That said, yeah, other ways you can help out is just by getting my content out there. Sharing, commenting, subscribing, liking, or even just joining my Discord helps out. But, yeah, let's get into it. Welcome to Necromunda, a hive world in Segmentum Solar infamous for its criminal underworld. However, it fulfills a function greater than the cesspit of debauchery that are the various gangs that ravage the lower levels of the hives. You see, Necromunda ensures a steady supply of weapons and munitions to the Astra Militarum. Forever engaged in bloody wars, the Guard must always make use of every tool at its disposal, for if it fails, the Imperium falls. It is Necromunda's sacred duty to dedicate unfathomable amounts of aid in the form of material and manpower. As with all hive worlds, Necromunda has a vital role to play. It is time to explore this planet in all of its glory and ignominy. Now, one common misconception shall be addressed immediately. Necromunda is a planet, not a hive. There are a number of grandiose cities, all of them dedicated to our glorious God Emperor of mankind. The greatest of them all, however, is Hive Primus. It is the oldest of the hives on Necromunda, a towering dedication to mankind's strength as its spires pierce the sky, pointing towards the void in a manner not dissimilar to 1,000 blades poised to strike. Hive Primus is famous for its imperial commander, who was given a cluster known as the Palatine Cluster, of which Hive Primus is comprised of. The Palatine Hive boasts some of the most magnificent sights on all of Necromunda. Due to its size, it is also the only hive with a shipyard and spaceport capable of hosting and servicing larger vessels. As such, Primus holds an economic monopoly over all trade with foreign worlds. A detachment of the Imperial Fists is present in the form of a miniature fortress monastery. From there, the resident chapter finds the hardened men of the lower and underhive, inducting them as candidates to join the ranks of our God Emperor's most powerful angels. You see, squalor and struggle breeds strength, and from that strength comes our most valiant and powerful defenders. This is why the struggle is needed, why the cause demands our kind suffering in the short term, so that in the coming millennia, our descendants may be rid of the heretic, the mutant, and the alien. That is why the Astartes allow such cruelty to fester. However, crime cannot always go unaddressed. The upper hive must be kept in working order, for that is where a great many matters of importance are addressed. As such, the Adeptus Arbites is also present in abundance, with all operations on Necromunda stemming from a central HQ within the Palatine Hive. The Arbites act on the authority of the Imperium itself, as such pitiful notions of due process are not needed. Your average enforcer serves as judge, jury, and if need be, executioner. After all, the walls of the Hive must represent order. They are a protective bastion from the outside. You see, a wasteland of apocalyptic proportions surrounds Hive Primus. As with all other hives, radioactive sands, toxic air, oceans of acidic sludge, and artificial mountains of scrapped objects make moving beyond the walls unthinkable for most. However, the wastes are a land of opportunity for the people of this hive world. Necromunda is devoid of its natural resources, for the Imperial machine had ground the world's natural usefulness down long ago. But the wastes provide a new source of raw material for the various hives. Hive Primus in particular scavenges much of what remains beyond the walled cities. The breaking down of old ships, vehicles, servitors, weapons, and more allows the hungry manufactorums to never fall silent. Every moment, hundreds of thousands of new platforms are produced and shipped off-world. Furthermore, all of the items mass-produced within the other hives are sent to the Palatine Hive via rail. Upon reaching the spaceport, all produce made within the planet is loaded onto vessels which then travel off-world. It is a hub, a network of urban centers working to be a grand whole, much like our blessed Imperium. But what of the other aforementioned hives? There are 9 other notable hive cities: Gothrel's Needle, Temenos, Quinspirus, Secundus, the Skull, the Eye of Selene, Mortis, Trezor, and Acropolis. They are all linked to each other and Hive Primus not just by rail, but a series of deep underground networks originally designed for Imperial forces to travel across the planet quickly, and without risk in the case of invasion. However, many of these tunnels and facilities have been abandoned by the authorities. Instead, marauding gangs have settled there, millions looking to escape punishment, seek freedom from servitude, fame within the underground, or purchase illegal items often settle in these recolonized zones, which are known to some as the Forbidden Cities. However, in truth, the bulk of the workforce within the Forbidden Cities have been coerced into slave labor, producing a substance from decayed corpse starch known as spook. A deeply vile and potent item many crave. However, it is time for us to move on from the pathetic squabblings of the desperate. We have nobles to meet. A noble house is an imperial family deemed fit for the luxuries of nobility. A planet's ruling imperial house acts as kingmaker in a fashion, as who is and who is not deemed a noble family is determined by the ruling house. The great houses, all underneath the imperial house, always find themselves locked in a fascinating and cutthroat struggle for dominance over the other. Political assassination is considered a norm and subterfuge is a common practice. Honesty in the political wars that ensue at the very tops of spires is an invitation to be disposed of. This is good, however, for the strong survive and the crafty succeed, and the Imperium is made better for it. House Helmar governs Necromunda and all the houses under it as well. Its authority is truthfully all that stands in the way of a complete and total collapse into civil war, for the great houses are always bickering over even the smallest of things, such as what half of a hab block is subject to their policing and tithes. However, even Helmar can only do so much, for the great houses have created a great many vassals to extend their influence over Necromunda. In particular, Hive Primus's lower districts have been carved up by clan houses, or ganger houses, all of them funded by the nobility in some fashion. They help line the pockets of their masters who claim dominion over the untold billions within the Hive. Each of them are entirely different in their own right, and they all merit their own set of lessons. For now, we shall simply note their existence. Of course, there is another reason the great houses do not war with each other beyond the Underhive. The Merchants Guild is an organization that has slipped in between the houses, acting as a border of sorts that brokers deals, trade, and more. They ensure Necromunda's economy remains perfectly functional and at ease even during the most destructive of gang wars. House Helmar has since recognized the importance of the guild and has used it as a means of controlling the lower houses. A number of groups within the guild, each forming a guild within itself, have formed and been elevated as a result. Coin talks, and it is a perfect manner of keeping the nobility in line. Yet despite their importance, the families within the various guilds rarely ever have permanent residence, wandering as nomads to wherever their services are required. Guilders, as they are called, are fascinating individuals indeed. Our Imperium, Holy as it may be, powerful as its engines of war are, it has been infiltrated. Within our blessed society, a darkness potentially greater than even the lies in waiting. It skulks about the Underhive, watching, observing, corrupting. These monstrosities, these creatures, they are manipulative, powerful, deceptive, difficult to find, and they are known for tainting our people through a number of methods. Within the bowels of Necromunda's hives, this evil has begun its horrific work. Gene stealers, as they are called. Their goal, grow in number and influence, assimilate enough material and manpower so that it may bring Necromunda down via civil war. The planet will be too embroiled within self-inflicted conflict to recognize the doom rapidly approaching it. And yet, the people here are unaware. Some, however, have encountered the Gene Stealer cults, not having the knowledge of the wider galaxy needed in order to understand the monsters they fear. Oftentimes, these regions are called bad zones. Even without the Gene Stealers, they are simply too dangerous for anyone to go to on a whim. Mutants, gangs, dangerous machines, collapsing structures, the list goes on. But they are known for hosting Gene Stealers, and with Gene Stealers comes an inevitability. A great devourer approaches, and when it arrives, Necromunda shall be devoured. But is that a bad thing? The matriarch says, perhaps, our suffering will be ended that way. Hey, so this was a fun video to make. Should I make more videos like this one? Animated backgrounds, proper artwork for it, etc. It would mean videos are released at a slower rate, but yeah, what do you think? Let me know. I will see you all in the cosmos, friends.